Hey, hello. Maybe immediately wondering, Beast, what the fuck are you doing? You literally just recorded Grisaya and uploaded it. Well, I just felt like it. I have no excuse. I just felt like it. Like, I started the part really fucking early, like before 8 p.m. even. So we finished by like 10:30. And considering the last few parts have started at like 10 to 11, who fucking gives a shit if I start a part at, quarter to 11 p.m. I just wanted to. I just wanted more Monaca. Can you blame me? Try to blame me. I'll fucking find out where you live. Okay, enough of that. Yeah, hello back to the Wildland. My name is Beast, and today we're back with more ToHeart2. I have a problem. By the way, I got another shot today. It is mildly uncomfortable. I shouldn't clamp on it. That was stupid. Yeah. But hey, like I said, it is mildly uncomfortable, and that's it. And you stop trying to be cute. You're not. Anyways, bookstore, itch, not store. You do not buy books here. As I open the door to the archives, my nose twitches. A faint fragrance drifts past me. It doesn't smell like tea. I wonder what it is. Doesn't smell like tea cakes either. I step into the archives. I try to recall the smells of different types of cheap sweets, hoping to remember the one that matches the scent. I constantly blurt out. In front of me is Monica sticking her tongue into a cap of a flavored milk bottle. Our eyes meet the moment she licks the cap. Monica bites her tongue in shock and hides the cap behind her back. There's no mistaking it. A bottle of flavored milk sits on the table in front of her. Looks like Monica's denial defense mechanism has already kicked in. At this point, I'm used to it. How's a way of explaining it? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In fact, I know just how you feel. It was a little unladylike, though. Looks my attempt at subtly comforting her failed. She looks even more flustered than before. I try to calm her down. The way she's nervously shuffling her legs while approaching me indicates that she's clearly shaken. In other words, Roger that. Really. Finally satisfied my response, Monica relaxes and leans back. I know how she feels. I can't resist trying to lap up the last few drops of juice out of a can when no one's looking. That's what Monica did too, but I guess I walked in at the worst moment. I feel bad for intruding on her secret little moment of bliss. Unconsciously, my eyes strayed where Monica hid the cap. Nonsense. Let's sort that heavy dictionary.
署名、サブタイトル、著者名、出版社、出版年月日、その他もろもろ、ざっとこんなもの。
Looking at a completely different screen on the PC, I nod and in response to Monica's explanation. According to Monica, this software is designed to organize the book data. You can even use it to print out barcodes if you have a printer connected. Monica's deft fingers fly across the keyboard.
項目はたくさんあるけど、手間もあるから、今のところはほとんど空欄なの。
I shrug my shoulders and poke out my tongue a little.
全部埋めてたら、卒業までかかっても無理だから。
Maybe. How long would it take to fill up all the information on the books in the archives? Just thinking about it makes me feel tired. There are a few records already in place, though. Monica must have entered those herself. However, even after filling in all those details, nothing can be done about putting the wrong barcode on the wrong book. Only the lines of the barcode are visible. The name of the book and author aren't printed on it. Once it's printed out, it's up to the person in charge to decide which book to stick it on.
本にバーコードを貼るときにはね。
As she says that, she brings a sample close to Barcode's reader. The details of the book instantly appears on screen. She's like we're in some kind of
こう
supermarket.
やって確認するの。
See, so that's how it works. Obviously, the barcode reader can be used not only while loading or returning books. Can't believe I missed
プ
that.
リントアウトしたバーコードを裁断機で切り分けて、透明シールを使って本に貼っていく。あとは棚に戻しておしまい。
What kind of paper is this? I run my finger over the barcode. Feels smooth, almost like a copy
う
paper.
ん、普通の上質紙。透明シールの方が特製品なの。直接手に触れる部分だから。
I see. It's incredible how she managed to set up all of this by herself. Who would have guessed such a genius was sucking juice out of a cap just moments ago?
今、変なこと考えなかった？
No, not really. She's unusually sharp.
ふむ。
How do we determine the weight of this dictionary? So that means we're doing data entry today. My job is to call out the names and details of each book on the bookshelf so Monica can enter them into the database. 187 missionary work, 188 beginnings of each sect, 191 Christians' doctrine faith.
ありがとう。
Monica glances upwards for a moment. Her fingers continue to fly across the keys. She really is an experienced typist. Slowly, the sheer size of this task begins to dawn on me. We've been working for a while, but we've made almost no progress. There's still a long way to
い
go.
つも来れるわけじゃないし。
Komaki looks away from the screen and mutters,
ここしばらくそれどころじゃなかったから。
Right, because you're busy, Monica? Monica stares blankly at me for some reason. You won't be able to come here because of your duties as class president? Monica nods hastily.
はい、そうです。そうなんです。
That's odd, she's speaking formally again. Is there something else on her mind? Some other reason why she can't come to the archives. Halfway through our work, we stop for tea. Today's snacks are rice crackers wrapped in seaweed and black tea.
ちょっと違和感あるかもしれないけど。
No, not at all. Both green tea and black tea are made from the same leaves. The difference lies simply in the way it's prepared. Substituting black tea for green tea should be fine. I didn't expect this to taste so good. The taste of the soy and the rice crackers brings out the sweetness of the black
校
tea.
長、いつもより甘く入れてみたの。
Komaki fidgets awkwardly while revealing the secret behind it. The rice crackers complement the tea perfectly. Bite by bite, the flavor of the soy spreads throughout my mouth. I think she's the embodiment of hospitality. Getting to know her is by no means an easy feat. I never thought she'd enjoy serving tea so much. As I tossed the last cracker into my mouth, I mumbled to myself unknowingly. She's really talented.
才能？
Monica inclines her head curiously. Being nice to people, that's not easy to do. To be able to understand other people's desire and remain hospitable and polite takes a lot. I think it's amazing. Monica blushes.
そんな大げさだよ。
Even though she sounds embarrassed, I could tell she's
だって
pleased.
相手の身になって考えればすぐわかることだし。
Easier said than done. It truly isn't something just anyone can do. That's why I call it a
もう
talent.
高明くん褒めすぎだよ。
She flaps her hands awkwardly as her face burns in embarrassment. I laugh. Her face is almost as red as her uniform. She clearly isn't used to being praised. Without thinking, I raise my empty cup and swallowed a mouthful of air. Huh?
おかわり持ってくるよ。
No, I'll get them next. We both reach for the teapot at the same time our hands touch. A brief moment of contact, the two of us withdraw our hands instantly. I can still feel the spot where our hands touched. A girl's smooth skin. Grabbing her hand has to be an unforgivable act. I can feel my face heating up. I'm unable to look at her face. Komaki appears to be doing the same. Both of us sit there silently. I repeatedly bring the empty teacup to my lips, forgetting each time that it's empty. All of a sudden, I realize something. Isn't exactly what we decided we'd try our best? Isn't this exactly what we decided we'd try our best to improve on? Stop getting flustered about? That was hopeless.
そうよね。ダメだよね。
It looks like Monika's thinking the same thing. Still, neither of us dare to look at each other's face. I forcibly shift my eyes to look at Monica. to be able to touch
手
hands.
が触れたくらい。
Try to make her understand. Both of her eyes are flickering nervously, trying to sneak glance at each other. Then our eyes finally meet unexpectedly. Be comfortable with a situation like this.
じゃあ、
We both gulp simultaneously. To be comfortable? I hold out my hand. Manaka does the same.
よろしくお願いします。
She stutters impressively. But me too. I've been affected. We take each other's hand, our palms sweating profusely. Felt more like political enemies shaking hands rather than a boyfriend-girlfriend
こ
thing.
んな感じ。
Just wrong somehow. That's just one thing I'm sure of. It's going to be a long, hard journey. With the work completed, the two of us leave the archives behind. Classes ended a long time ago and the library is devoid of people. However, the librarian was aware we were in the archives and should have left the door unlocked. Well, according to Monica. We usually enter the archives from the door facing the corridor and lock it once the day's work is complete. Calling out of the door behind the library counter from the archives, Monica goes into a small panic. For those who work within the school grounds like Monica, they have keys to get around. All of those keys are on the keychain, but she can't seem to find the right one for the archives. She's trying numerous keys
また
already.
入らない。
Don't panic, there's no rush.
あ
She seems to have forgotten basic hand-eye coordination. Maybe she's nervous since she's holding me up. Even if she picks the right key, she might not be able to make it fit. Have you tried all of them up to this key?
そんなはずないんだけど。
She doesn't seem very sure of herself. Ka-chang, ka-chang. The keys clink in vain. Again, it looks like she's got the wrong one. Isn't that the third time she's gone through all the keys? First of all, I need to get her to calm down. I grab her back, massage her with a golf ball sticking out of it from behind the counter. Don't rush, relax, relax. Gently massage her shoulders with it. Her shoulders tremble.
気持ちいいです。
Look, relax, unwind. I'll grab another one and use one on each shoulder. Double action. Monica looks like she's in a trance. Her knees go weak. She's about to nod off. When she finally realizes how silly she looks, her face goes red.
やだ、もう変なことしないで。
Monica's student notebook falls onto the ground. It flips wide open as it hits the ground, exposing what's written within. In it are names, contact addresses, and various details and so on crammed into columns. Pick up the notebook and close it before Monica can. Huh? This feels bulkier than usual. There's no way contact details would take up so many pages. Here.
ありがとう。
It's pretty bulky for a student notebook. This is some kind of custom-made notebook. Yes, so I think that's what
実は
she's supposed to say.
このメモ部分って後から継ぎ足せるの。
Huh? I see. Monica grabs the notebook and puts it back into her student uniform pocket. For some reason, that piques my interest. You had an incredible number of entries in
う
there.
ん。私忘れっぽいからちゃんと書いとかないと。
Is my name in there too?
さあ、どうかな。
Monica puts on a mysterious smile. I grab the two massages and use my special technique again. Double action!
やめてやめて、癖になる。
And skip. That's just the dumb and the danger again. Almost fucking went home there.
恋人同士でやることってなんだろう。
Monica occasionally blurts this out while talking about how it feels less awkward around how to feel less awkward about the opposite sex. I nearly choke on my tea. Huh? What? Lovers?
どうしたの？
Nothing. I'm sure that was just another offhand question. But to even pretend to be lovers, that's a bit, well, you know. Where'd she get such a strange idea from in the first place? I'm amazed by how Monica continues to outdo herself. Even though this is all part of what I agreed to earlier, it still strikes me as odd. Yes, I'm just surprised by her enthusiasm. Then I noticed something weird about her. Something strange. Yeah, strange. Monica is clearly behaving weirdly now. But then again, so am I. Hanging with her. Focus. Now's not the time to think carelessly. We're across the table, talking seriously despite having no idea what we want. What do lovers normally talk about on a daily
一
basis?
緒にお茶したり、話をしたり。
Isn't that what we do all the time, even right now? I glanced at her with my teacup
じ
in
ゃ
hand.
あ、
After a brief moment, Monica tilts her head and smiles at me.
お食事にしますか？それともお風呂？
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. I was about to suggest having a bath together, but decided to reconsider.
とにかくなんとなくじゃダメだし、今日のお題を考えないと。
Topic, huh? What would you do? They kiss? I can't say that. When does her face go red? I guess she was thinking the same
あれ
thing.
ですよね、やっぱり。
Yeah, like seeing each other coming out of a strange station,
柱の影とかで。
bringing their faces close to each other, then both of us blush. On that note, the conversation ends. We quickly scurry off to resume our work. Nothing but the sound of typing continues into the early afternoon in the archives. My job is to walk around bookshelves collecting books and bringing them back so Monica can enter the data. I'm still distracted by that conversation we had over tea. Kisses are commonplace in movies and manga, but it's something I've never experienced. It's embarrassing I averted my eyes and couldn't concentrate on anything after that. Lips meeting. Never even been so close to someone before. Can't even begin to imagine being able to do that with Monica. I unconsciously stroke my lips with my finger. What am I doing? Huh? I noticed that the sound of typing has stopped. Now it seems like it stopped for a while
あ
ago.
の
Ah! Surprise attack, I leap out of my skin.
びっくりした。
I was so engrossed in my fantasies that I didn't notice her. I hope I didn't startle her. Sorry, I was just spacing out. What? Monica averts her eyes and takes a moment to control her
あの
breathing.
さっきの話だけど、
Before? How long before?
恋人同士のすること。
Ah, yeah. About kissing, I've been thinking about it the whole time. Now that she's brought it up, I'm starting to feel embarrassed.
お願いします。
Monica murmurs. Huh? Mind goes blank. Nearly a minute passes before Monica opens her
こ
mouth
の
again.
ままだと、また何も進歩がないまま終わっちゃうから。
Now I know that, but seriously? Ask again to confirm. Monica blushes and looks down even further, nodding in agreement. Yeah, she looks serious. Serious? She's serious? Suppose now or never. Try to steel myself mentally while Monica shuts her eyes. Seriously?
今日の私は、昨日より一歩前に。
No matter how I look at it, she's serious. What should I do? No, at this point, this isn't the time to wonder what I should do. No more thinking. Quickly look around. Besides us, there isn't a soul in the archives. I don't know if I'd prefer if someone was in here or not. I feel beads of sweat run down my body goes stiff. Is it okay? It's just practice. I can't count the number of times I did this as a kid. My mind tries to convince itself that it's a different person now. That's right. Back then, none of that even mattered. There's something that will benefit both of us directly as well as indirectly. Should I? Is this unusually comfortable situation just reaching out with my hands feels... in this unusually uncomfortable situation, just reaching out with my hands feels like a monumental task. I reach out slowly with my hand. Where am I supposed to touch her? Her shoulders, her face? I feel like a spectator criticizing my own shoddy performance. Ow, the sweat stings as it drips into my eyes. However, what? Suddenly Monica lowers her face. What? What's this mean? Did she change her mind? Nah, she's just lowered her face a bit, that's all. She's not refusing me. So what the hell? What am I supposed to do now? As I draw closer to Monica, I find myself panicking. During her embarrassment, Monica lets out a teary murmur. Her words make me panic even more. What if I misunderstood her? Chill runs down my spine. How am I supposed to continue? As a rule, in moments of chaos, the more important thing is to act without hesitation. Fire the name, not the other way around. Yet here I am, acting baffled as usual. What do I decide to speak honestly? Monica looks up at me
だ
blankly.
から、
Slightly bewildered, Monica puts her palm on her
こ
head.
んな感じで。
She then moves her hand in a circle, like an adult petting a child. That's it? Like that? In an instant I go numb.
なんだと？
Nothing! There's nothing wrong, yeah! I appear lively on the outside, but I'm actually dead inside. If I had suddenly stolen a kiss away from her, it would have been disastrous. That is, if I had the balls to do so. So if all I have to do is pat her head...
じゃあ、お願い。
Monica hangs her head in embarrassment. I lift up my arm and lower my palm onto her head. My hand won't go down no matter what. I've just noticed that patting a girl's head involves direct contact with a large area of girl for a long duration. There's a completely different level from touching fingers. Even though I dodged a bullet back there, the very act of touching a girl still evokes screams of embarrassment from the depths of my soul. Fighting my innermost angst, I eventually managed to reach out lightly to Manaka. Manaka loses her balance and lands with a thud on the sofa. Manaka speaking formally again. She must be in shock. Maybe it'll feel more natural if I actually have a reason to touch her. Move behind Manaka and remove her hair ornaments. Manaka's hair floats freely from my fingertips upon release. Deep down, I always wanted an excuse to comb Manaka's hair, that is. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Even though it's just an accessory attached to her body, Manaka instantly goes stiff and shuts her mouth. It appears she senses my intent. My fingers run down the length of her hair, straightening out the tips. It's beautiful. It feels silky smooth. Do all girls have hair this smooth? Manaka quietly accepts her fate. For a long she closes her eyes like a cat having its neck scratched. I comb it carefully, sorting the ends. We end up making no progress with the work. On our way back, the neighborhood is painted crimson red. Classes ended a long time ago, so we hardly spot any signs of life as we walk down the hill. Both Manaka and I still feel lightheaded from all that hair combing. I feel a bit drowsy, almost like I just got out of a swimming pool. The sensation is new to me. I want to recapture the bliss of our time in the archive.
Ryu?
Yeah. You asked me to do something I wasn't bad at, so we could both benefit. How'd you manage to come up with that? Manaka doesn't seem to understand me. What was your motive? Why'd you do it? She says in an ass. She's probably fine with contact with girls. I'm the same with guys. Manaka continues insisting.
運動神経とか音感だったら才能とか遺伝ってことあるかもしれないけど、男と女が惹かれ合うって生物として誰でも持ってる機能なんだから。
I struggle to cover up my laughter. I wouldn't have expected anything less from Manaka when she's being
生まれ
serious.
つき異性が苦手で一生そのままなんてないと思う。
Well, I do agree that this has been a learning experience for me. I'm sure we both believe that. But how much longer can we keep this up? But what I was talking about was how she hit upon the idea of pretending to be lovers, though. Skip. Manaka approaches me quietly the moment the bell signals lunch break. Yeah? She stands on her toes and looks around quickly for a moment. What?
今日お弁当ですか？
No,
学食？
that's what I had in mind.
うーん、
She looks reluctant for
ちょ
some
っと
reason.
いいでしょうか？
I'm still not sure where this conversation is going. What is
時
it?
間なんですけど。は
Yeah, I
い、
do.
じゃあ2分後くらいに屋上に来てほしいんですけど。
I gaze upwards, but I don't have any plans for today. Sure.
それじゃあお願いします。
Manaka bows and runs out of the classroom with her bag. Is she heading to the roof already? Huh? Why in 2 minutes? Why not now? Would you be embarrassed of walking together with me? As usual, Manaka speaks formally outside the archives. A few minutes later, I head towards the roof as instructed. Even though it's lunchtime, most of the students are in the cafeteria or in the courtyard. There's hardly anyone else here. I'm sure there'll be more signs of life during the second half of lunch break, though. Can't see Manaka anywhere. Wonder why she took her bag to the roof. Maybe I misunderstood
河
her.
野くん、
Wonder what I should do now. Should I wait?
河野くん。
Eh? Was that a voice? Where? Look around and notice Manaka squatting behind a shrub. What's wrong? Quickly look around. Is someone chasing her?
目立つ行動しないでください。
I think her frantic voice would draw more attention than myself, but I decided to keep that to
こっちで
myself.
す。
Manaka leads me along to the first bench from the stairwell. I don't think anybody would be able to spot us hiding behind the shrubs.
わざわざご足労いただき、ごめんなさい。
Don't worry, it's no big deal. She's being very reserved. That is, she's being much more formal than usual. Monica sits down lightly on one end of the bench. Shrubs aren't exactly luxurious. I decide to sit down at the other end. I become aware of the gap between the two of us. We're both nervous, since it's just the two of us in a public area. The roof is draped in silence. Finally, Monica strikes up a conversation.
河野くんには迷惑かもしれないけど。
Nah, that's not it. Even though she says nothing more, I quickly deny it. Manaka goes red and starts rummaging around in a bag. Then she pulls out a fancy-looking box covered in cloth.
お弁当作ってきたんだけど。
Lunchbox!
やっぱり迷惑ですよね。
She's scolding herself again. No, you're not. That looks great. Seriously, thanks.
迷惑じゃないですか？
Not at all. I nod violently and gulp. Was that a hand job? Monika's face redens further. Not just from what I said, but how I said
なん
it.
だか言い方が卑猥です。
That wasn't what I meant. I wonder if I should ask her why she found it dirty. She sits there fidgeting nervously. Did you forget about the lunchbox? Finally, Monica puts it on her lap and wraps it and opens the lid. When you see what's inside the lunchbox, I let out a yelp. Looks like sweets aren't the only things you can cook. But she still hasn't handed it over to me. Don't tell me. Let out a loud gulp in response. I don't know if I should be delighted or terrified of what I think is about to happen. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Monica's fingers tremble as she picks up her chopsticks and grabs a pinch of the boiled fish paste. She turns to me with a serious look on her face.
どうぞ。です。
Monica opens her own mouth to demonstrate. Seriously?
マジです。早くしないと誰かに見られちゃいます。
I lean back without thinking, but there's nowhere left to run. My only escape route has been cut off by the shrubs. I look at the fish paste hovering ominously in front of my face. This is also part of the promise we made in the archives. Monica leans out with the chopsticks as far as she can to cover the distance between us. Her chopsticks shiver inches in front of my face. They're so close to my eyes crosses as I try to focus on them. Both of us are sweating profusely. I don't have a choice. A promise is a promise. I timidly open my mouth. Her chopsticks slowly enter my mouth. She deposits the fish paste onto my tongue and pulls her chopsticks away. Monica wipes the sweat from her brow, looking relieved after that monumental task. Choo choo choo. Honestly, I have no idea how the food tastes.
どうですか？
Huh? How is it? The words barely reach me. The mind races. The face is on fire. I nearly forgot to chew. How did this end up happening? What am I even doing? Well, it's pretty embarrassing, or rather...
違います。
Monica waves her palms at me as her face goes
おか
red.
ずの方、お口に合いましたかってそういう意味です。
Ah, yeah, that. Yeah, tasty. Yeah.
そうですか。よかった。
A look of relief washes over Monica's face. I'm fascinated by that expression. Looking at it objectively, I'm sure a lot of guys would love to be in my position right
じゃ
now.
あ次は
Picks up a fish roll using her chopsticks. Nah, that's about to crumble. To fall for sure. It's gotta choose something that's difficult for round 2. The roll shakes in her trembling hands as she picks it up. It looks like it'll crumble any second now under the pressure of her chopsticks. Why doesn't Monica realize what's happening? She's closed her eyes! Ah, to hell with it! Determined, I open my mouth. How's that? She can't miss with a target as large as this. Alas, the roll falls off just before reaching my mouth. Monica's eyes are still shut. Does she not realize the roll fell off? Her chopsticks, they're on a collision course. I feel her chopsticks go straight into my nostril. Dig, 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 dig.
どうでしょうか。
Shush, but
美味しい。
meh. Hanya.
ごめんなさい。
No, I'm fine. Fine, yeah. Okay, the last one had serious Dark Souls message vibes. Thank you. Hello. A while later,
本当にごめんなさい。私、
downtrodden Monica plunks herself on the bench and cleans up the remains of the fish
失
roll.
敗ばかりで。
Don't worry about
で
it.
も、河野くんに申し訳なくて言い出したのは私なのに。
But I really enjoyed today's lunch.
本当ですか？
She peeks up at me. Seems like us men are programmed to be vulnerable to the expression she's wearing right now. Smile and nod. Monica's smile returns to her face. Monica picks up the chopsticks again.
次は
Hang on. Those chopsticks were just inside, Yeah, that's a no. Fuck off. Nothing new. Book storage. I hold my breath the moment I enter the archives. Notice Monica sneaking around. What is she up to? Try to conceal the sound of my footsteps as I approach her. She's behind the bookshelf, putting a stopper back into a jar. What is she eating? Was she eating something? Some sort of colorful exotic candy from a land far, far away. Monica puts the lid on the jar and freezes. She's motionless. I watch her silently. She pulls the stopper out of the jar once again with a troubled look on her face. She pokes around in the jar and pulls out a single bean jelly. A jelly bean. She slowly places it inside her mouth and shuts her lips. Observe as she feeds on her prey in her natural habitat. Monica sneaks into the kitchen, huddled over with the jar clutched tightly against her chest. She stands at the sink while continuing to poke around inside it. Before she returns it to its original location, she stops. She remains still for a moment. She's probably eating some more. It's time to make a tactical retreat. Suddenly sneak back to the door. Maybe I should try startling her a bit. Huh? Monica's not here. I hear a loud noise from the kitchen. I guess it worked. Sounds like you hit her head hard. That was wicked of me.
ここにいるよ。
Her voice wavers as she approaches. Are you alright?
何が？
She manages to smile with tears in her eyes. However, the impressive bump on her head betrays her words. I'm not stupid, you know.
いつも同じことばかりでは飽きてくるので、今日はバーコード印刷の実演を目にかけたいと思います。
Hooray! Bravo! But shouldn't we input more data?
埋めていく項目は今のところ最低限だからそんなに大変じゃないよ。
See, the printer doesn't need any special preparation. All it needs is paper. The printer starts spitting out barcodes. Oh, it's really happening. Oh yeah, this is happening! Sorry. Sonic Adventure 1, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, they look legit.
これを裁断機にかけるの。端を合わせて固定して、レールの車輪をこんな風に。
A disc-shaped blade runs across the paper according to the
円
rail.
盤の縁が刃になってるから気をつけて。
Oui, Roger. Now it's my turn. The cutouts pile up 1 sheet, 2, 3, 4. With work close to finished, I pinch together a bunch of cutouts and whistle in admiration. It really is incredible. It really is quite incredible. I had no idea this would be so quick. I guess I had to see it to believe it.
それが技術というものだよ。
Yeah, science! You could say that again.
本当は全然すごくないんだけどね。基本的に学校で習う知識に毛が生えた程度だから。
The stuff we study can be pretty useful after all, eh? I'm not sure how I feel about this. It takes a certain kind of person to put theory into practice. Anyways, that makes this our first major breakthrough in progress.
で、その記念というわけではないんだけど。
Tea time. Today, Monica didn't brew black
今日
tea.
の課題はこれ。
Theme? Looks like today's theme has been chosen. Monica has taken this business seriously. On a table is a huge glass of fruit punch. The glass is full of primary colors, various types of fruits, and carbonated water. No, that's definitely real fruit punch. A massive straw sticks out of the concoction. We don't have individual saucers, so are we supposed to fight over one straw? Hand-to-hand combat rules? What is this? Full silence. Don't tell me.
応用編なの。
Monica gulps as she reaches out with a trembling hand and drops another straw into the punch. All of a sudden, the drink transforms into fiendish poison. Metaphorically speaking, of course. This panic in my chest. I feel like I'm wading through maple syrup. What the hell is Manaka doing? I have to refuse her. I think that we lock
一
eyes.
緒に頑張ろうって言ったよね。
She looks up at me with slightly wet eyes. I give up. Warm weather. School's over. No one's around in the archives. Both of us staring at each other as our faces go red. I always dreamed of a situation like this. Thinking it would be all rosy and warm. But not now! Reality is harsh! I feel like a monk on a rocky mountain on the verge of being blown off by the wind. Clearly, this is weird. If you look at it objectively, this is definitely a weird thing we're about to do. Besides, the nervousness isn't going away. The straws remain in the glass. However, neither of us have touched them. How are we supposed to do this? If the juice evaporates before we do something. Monica, you should be so reserved. I try offering to her, ladies first after all. Monica's face goes red. That, not me! Her eyes seem to scream.
私、肺活量なくて。
That's not the
高明
problem.
くんも。
Yeah, the truth is I don't like fizzy
実
drinks.
は、私も。
The silence continues. We might be overexerting ourselves. Two of us slump in our seats. Is this what couples do nowadays?
しないかも。
I wish she'd realized this earlier. That reminds me, where are today's fruitcakes?
飲み物に入ってるフルーツってことで。
Oh, so no snacks? What about the jelly beans you were eating before?
いえ、全然。
Skip. Book storage. Enter the archives. Door is unlocked, but there's no sign of Manaka. Where is she? Sense someone nearby. Is that sound of her breathing? Quietly close the door and head deeper into the archives. Looks like she's fast asleep. She shows no sign of waking up, even though I'm so close to her. She's completely defenseless. This is her safe space, after all. She doesn't need to be cautious here. It's the only place she can sleep peacefully. I should tease her a bit. That's a perfect opportunity. I lift my finger and poke her cheek. I eagerly look at her reaction. Wonder if this is the right thing to do, huh? I notice a student notebook on the desk. It's stuffed full of memos that, according to Monica, describe what's happening around her. In it are names, addresses, and various other details all crammed together in bubbly handwriting. Surely Monica's friends should be in here too. What does it say about me? I snap myself back to reality. I quickly realized I was reaching out towards the book with my fingers. Naughty hand. Can't intrude on her privacy. I don't want to betray her trust. So instead I examine it from afar. This way it's purely by chance. After managing to convince myself, I return my attention to the notebook. A praying mantis sits unfazed at the entrance of Monica's mouth. It must have crawled up there while I wasn't looking. Where did it come from? Anyway, if Monica was to wake up, she'd probably let out a scream. Then the librarians would come running and get the wrong idea and accuse me of being a criminal or something. I should do something about this pesky insect quickly. What should I do? Bring a finger close to her lips. Need to flick the praying mantis away without touching her. Don't move. That goes for Monica and the mantis. However, things don't always turn out the way they were supposed to. The mantis eagerly waves his little arms about. If I don't shoo him away quickly, Monica will wake up for sure. Quickly grab a ballpoint pen from the pen stand. I edged the tip of the pen towards Monica's mouth, trying to poke the mantis with it. Whoa! Gotcha! Did you see that? The result of 6 million years of evolution. I carefully carry the mantis on the pen towards the window and toss it outside. However, just before I shut the window, a gust of wind blows into the room and flips the pages of the notebook. I quickly slam down on the notebook to stop the pages from flipping. That was a natural phenomenon. I wasn't responsible. Keep a hand on the pages until the wind starts to die down. Natural phenomenon. Wait, what am I doing? I return to my senses. The wind is long gone. I barely have time to question the purpose of my existence before yet another gust of wind blows in and starts flipping the pages again. Ah! I constantly blurt out. It's my name. It's mine, written right there. The name I was born with. It's clear as day. A conspicuous white page with no one else written on there. No way. There's something else. There's something here. Something that was written here once, but was erased. I can still see a few faint marks. Bring my face closer to the notebook. My eyes struggle to follow the faint strokes on the page. Written there is, "Forgive me." That's what I can make out. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? My thoughts came to a halt. Flustered, I stared at Monika's sleeping face. Can't find an answer on her face either. What? Huh? Did you always have a mole there? Look closer. It's not a mole. There's another bug near her mouth. This time it looks like a mosquito, but if I don't shoo it away quickly, she might wake up with a swollen lip. I hastily pick up a magazine roll and rolled it up before swinging it against her mouth. That was stupid of you. Sure enough, Monika wakes up with a start. Her eyes shoot open and she looks around in shock. She instinctively speaks formally before realizing I'm right next to her. No, this, she points to the curled up magazine I'm holding. This is because you had a bug crawling on your face. Monika puffs her cheeks out. I take another look at the magazine. It was a direct hit, but just as Monika said, there's no bug to be seen on the magazine. Did it disintegrate completely? I'm sure I saw one. Stop treating me like a child. I know Monika's joking around, but I'm sure I hit the mosquito. Wait, huh? Suddenly realized what happened. How did I notice this earlier? The smashed remains of the mosquito are stuck to her lip. It's kind of hard to point out. Well, they'll fall off sooner or later once we start working. And I decided not to bring it up. However, about that notebook, why does she need to apologize? And why did she erase that bit? Why, Monika? Why? Huh? Intriguing. Most curious. Nothing new here. Today's task is data entry. Data entry all day long. Alone, silently entering data. I've become so used to the keyboard that I barely have to look down at the keys anymore. According to Monika, this is what I'll be doing from now on, other than tea breaks, of course. However, Monika's still much better at this than I am. Expert typist Manaka Komaki is currently moving around the library transporting books. Our faces would meet only when exchanging details about the books. But the archive's always this serene. Primary school's first edition book on military history, costing 6,000 yen. See, I indulge myself in an old newspaper next to me, not actually known for being productive. Eventually, I toss it aside and return to work. Gotta think of it. It's been a while since I last saw Monika. I'm sure she would have finished stacking the books by now. She pinned onto some books again. Doesn't sound like it. Then again, this is Monika we're talking about. Her idea of struggling wouldn't produce a lot of noise. Stop typing and lean back in my chair. Maybe I should wait until I hear some. Or am I just looking for excuses not to work? I'm more worried about her seeing me slacking off than where she is right now. I get up from the chair. Should take a look just in case. There's no need to be sneaky. There's no need to be sneaky. Monika knows I'm the only one here. Still, I carefully peek out from behind a bookshelf. There she is. Komaki sitting on a stool, hanging her head. Thought she went and knocked it off, but before long I hear the sounds of pages turning. Simply pretend to be engrossed in the book in front of me. Tiptoe back to the desk and sit down in the chair. A day like this is okay once in a while. And no need to finish this too quickly, or I might have to leave early. My cheeks go red for some reason. Yeah, it's time for me to take a rest. I dive into my hard-earned rest break quick as a rabbit. However, my work progresses slower than a turtle. Feeling renewed, I lean forward on my chair and clumsily begin typing again. I continue my simple task in earnest. With no one around, with no one nearby, the waxing and waning sounds of the crowds in the school grounds far below wash over me like a lullaby. I reach out for a magazine near my hand, and for long the characters begin to fade away.
Takaaki-kun?
Huh? Don't tell me. Orange sunlight blankets the archives. I must have dozed off. It's already evening. Time passes quickly, eh?
Takaaki-kun, 寝てたよ。
No way.
ほんと。
I was just daydreaming a
何度
little.
呼んでも反応なかったし。
Huh. That doesn't mean I was asleep.
寝顔、可愛かったよ。
She can't be serious. I surrender. I wipe the drool off my chin with my sleeve. Were you engrossed in a book the whole time? All the way until you came here to wake me up?
私はそんなことないですよ。
Her back stiffens up immediately as she starts tapping her feet. Mighty fine posture. Is it already past curfew? Point at the oriental clock on the wall. Sure enough, the faintest buzzing The faint bustling from the school ground seems to have finally faded away. The penalty for breaking curfew is a week's suspension from club activities. It won't be a problem for me, but in Monika's case, it'll be an issue for the other members of the literary club. All things considered, the smile on Monika's face isn't disappearing. What? What are you smiling at?
じゃ
Monika takes out a silver
ーん、裏
object.
口の鍵
Ah,
臨床特
awesome!
権かな
She sticks her tongue out with like a mischievous child. We leave the archives and arrive at the library. We're in no particular hurry, though. I'm starting to enjoy this carefree atmosphere. Monika, who's always busy running around, seems to enjoy it even more. Monika?
ん
Do you want to work in the library in the future?
司書の資格は取っておきたいな。
Is that a direct denial? Monika leans against the counter.
昔はお医者さんになりたかったな。
Pediatrician?
どうしてそうなるのよ。
She scoffs at me through
臨
a
床じゃ
smile.
なくて研究職の方、血とか見るのダメだから。
Her expression sours. Are you even allowed to become a doctor if you can't deal with blood? Why'd you give up on the idea? Grades? But, sure, grades were outstanding. Monika leans slightly towards me.
医者一人を作るのにいくらかかるか知ってる？
She probably means tuition fees. I shake my head.
うちじゃ無理だし、取れるかわからない奨学金を当てにするのもね。
She gave up without even trying. That's just like her. I was so cautious and always a realist. The disappointment hidden beneath her smile spreads to me. Hey, Monika, have you ever been called a quiet, obedient child back when you were a kid?
今でもそうかもね。
Prone to being reserved and so on? Monika is at a loss for words.
だって社交辞令で言ってるかもしれないし、判断するの難しいし、一人でできることをわざわざ手伝ってもらうのも悪いし。
Everyone appreciates you helping out all the time, so I think you should let them return the favor too. Monika pouts.
それはそうだけど。
She immediately drums her fingers on the counter. I understand how she feels, so I try to avoid being too blunt, but I do want to be frank with her.
そういえば。
Monika turns around and leans under the counter. Up her skirt. Right before my very eyes, Monika's round arse bobs up and down in front of me. I forcibly tear my glance off it and frantically try to maintain a poker face.
やっぱりまだあった。
The sound of her rummaging through a pile of papers stopped, and I sensed she pulled herself out from under the
どうし
counter.
たの？
Nothing. Geez, considering she's bad with guys, it is being far too careless.
これ見て。
Monika hands me a faded reddish-brown library card. I reach out and take it. It's an antique. Looks like it's about to crumble. I turn it over to look at the back. 1953. Raise my eyes from the card. Has this been here all this
う
time?
ん、本と一緒に流れてきたんだと思う。その時に挟まってた図書カードを誰かが取っておいて、そのまま忘れられたんだよ、きっと。
So, is this still reserved?
次、これもなんだけど。
The next card she hands over looks just as old, just as I thought. This one's also from 1953. Monika continues handing me cards. Each and every one of them was from the same
何か
year.
気づかない？
In response to her question, I compared the cards again. Many of the publications were old romance novels that nobody reads anymore. They're not school library cards. These look more like they belong to a public
それもあ
library.
るけどね。
Monika doesn't seem to want to tell me.
もう、裏だってば。
I turn the library cards over. I see. This time I get it. No matter which one I look at, two names keep coming up. Genzo Nagase. Ritsuko Senda. Always those two names. This is no coincidence. I assume that is related to Yume. Ritsuko Senda's name is always written below where the woman's name always is. Are you saying there's some kind of secret yearning? Secretly chasing the person he loves by reading the same books as her. Just like something out of a movie.
私は違うと思う。
She disagrees. Has she had the answer in mind all along? She looks like she's about to reveal the
きっと
truth.
律子さんの作戦だよ。相手のことをよく知るためのね。遠くから見てるだけじゃダメだって玄三くんと結ばれるため、その趣味嗜好を把握しようと精一杯努力したんだよ。
You think
そ
so?
うに決まってるよ。
But what about in that era?
いつの時代でも女は恋に命がけなんだから。
Her face quickly turns red in embarrassment. Hanging her head to hide her shame, she lets out a voice no louder than a
なん
mosquito.
だから
She mumbles.
忘れ物ない？
Yeah. Monica nods in response. She then locks the door to the archives and turns the handles to make sure it's locked. Honest to God, a real Chad move would have been like, after she tells this story, oh, okay, that's neat. So, what were the last few books you've borrowed from the library? Schoolyard is empty. It's only Monica and myself inside the school grounds. We slowly become aware of the deafening silence. Monica nervously holds her hand to her chest. I can almost hear her heartbeat. We're suddenly very conscious of each other's presence. Should we take a slight detour? Try saying boldly. I wonder if the setting sun disguised my flushed face. Monica opens her eyes wide in amazement and holds her hand in front of her mouth. She nods in agreement. Our detour takes us as far as the entryway through the deserted corridors. We slowly begin to converse more freely. Feels like the intimate atmosphere of the archives has spread into the sun-bathed corridors.
高明くん、それでね。
That's the first time she's called me that in the corridor. That's because there's no one around, but it feels nice. A little bubble of safety within the archives is expanding timidly. It's just the beginning, like a baby bird with fragile wings taking its first steps. After spending so much time with her in the archives, it feels like we finally progress further.
なんだか不思議な気分。
Blushing, she speaks as though about to break into a dance.
世界中に私たちしかいないみたい。
Sort
妙
of.
にワクワクするよね。ただ人がいないってだけなのに。
Yeah. I honestly agree. I feel something awaken with my heart. Monica, call out to her, a little embarrassed. It was also the first time I've called her that in the corridor.
はい。
Monica instantly goes rigid and formal. She probably doesn't even realize it. I quickly look around to confirm that the school is empty. Shall we hold hands? Am I pushing things? I hastily add an excuse. Look, it's for practice.
そうですね。
She looks a little disappointed. Wonder if I should have said that should have said that last bit. What the? There's no backing out now. Take a step closer to Monica and hold her hand delicately as though it was broken. My hand is wrapped around Monica's tender white hand. Monica's soft hand wraps around mine. To touch, to stay entwined. Both of our hands begin to sweat, but that doesn't bother us. With her hand in mine, we walk off to the school grounds under the sunset. My heart races. I finally remember how comforting it feels to hold hands with someone. None of us say a word. Not that we need to. Neither of us try to let go of it as we near the entrance. But as we approach the shoe boxes, we realize we can't change our shoes while holding hands. A sense of reluctance builds up within me. I notice that we've stopped walking. Our palms are gripped much tighter now than when we began.
小牧さん
Ah! A voice calls out from behind us and we practically leap apart. We timidly turn around to look, our hearts pounding furiously.
何
Who the fuck are you?
どうしたの
I don't recognize him. Ah, it was Monica's name he called out. Did you see us? I quickly shoot a sideways glance at Monica. That was unexpected. Monica stares at the floor with a stern look in her face. I wonder how they're related. Is there some strange
ちょっと
going on
いい
here?
かな
Yeah. I noticed my voice slip out just a moment too late. His tone and expression seem almost condescending. Is he a
小
third
牧さん
year?
を借りてくよ
Male student easily takes Monica's hand, a feat I had so much trouble with earlier. I open my mouth half offended but restrain myself when I see Komaki's troubled expression. Okay, soon as after I answered, the two of them move from the entryway to the corridor. What's the story? Click my tongue inside my mouth. Even at this distance, Monica's clearly nervous. Her fists are clenched tightly. It almost seems like she's hanging her head in shame. He barrages her with words while Monica remains silent. Eventually, from the look of resignation on Monica's face, it seems like the discussion has ended. He glances slightly at me before leaving. That guy gets on my
お
nerves.
待たせ。
Monica seems overly cheerful.
他の人だとまだまだうまく話せないね。
She says, my mind is still occupied by the person who just left. What was that just now? I inquire, trying to act
図書
unconcerned.
委員長。
Monica responds clearly. So that's him. Even though I'd been helping out at the archives all this time, I had no idea who he was. Even though he got on my nerves a bit, I did notice a moment back then when Monica wasn't hanging her head as he spoke to her. I wonder what their conversation was
じゃ
about.
あ帰ろうか。
Monica's carefree attitude seems to be a bit out of place. In the end, she didn't even mention his name once. Bzzzt. Fuck off. We don't do mosquitoes around here. Did you pay for the software yourself? I lounge about idly as the printer spits out barcodes.
まさか学校のだよ。みんな図書室の本をバーコード化するときに購入したの。
You sure do know a lot for someone who's not in the library
資
committee.
料集めとか手伝ったから。
Weren't the committee members supposed to do that?
それでも図書委員じゃないし。
I'm strangely curious about this. Is it the same as when she was class president? Vice president. We're finally making a bit of progress with the barcodes. What's more, I'm in charge today. I show no signs of getting used to the keyboard anytime soon, so whenever Monica looks like she's free, I try palming it off. This time I'm absolutely useless. I line up the barcode sheets along the cutting machine to cut one out. Chop chop. Alright, that wasn't so bad. But how much more do I have to go
大
through?
丈夫？
Yeah, don't worry, even a monkey could do this. After confirming that I have the correct barcode in hand, I carefully align it with the back of the book before tenderly pressing the seal against it. Sticks to it. Right, that's one done, huh? The damn seal's crooked.
サル。
Shush! This time for sure. I quickly remove the seal before it dries and pull out a new one. I place it on the barcode, making sure to be extra careful about the alignment. I slowly press down. Huh? Why does it move around the moment it sticks?
サル。
What the hell?!
ダメですね。
What are you talking like a teacher?
きっちり水平に貼る必要はないんだけど、まあここは先生のお手本しっかり見てらっしゃい。
She switches places with me and starts working.
下ろす瞬間にわずかな風が起きちゃうから、まず真ん中を設置させてから左右へ。あら？
Monkey.
今のはちょっと失敗しただけなんだから。
Fluster, she pulls off the seal and tries again. I can feel the pressure mounting in her mind through her trembling fingers. That doesn't look too good. Just as I thought, her angle of approach had been wrong from the beginning. Monkey.
言わないで。こんなはずじゃ。
Harder in payback.
高明くんの猿が映った。
Sorry, but you only have yourself to blame for this tragedy. Now it's time for tea. Thanks as always. My tummy rumbles as guilt washes over me. And
手伝ってもらって大助かりだし。
Monica smiles sweetly. It'd be great if that were
ほ
true.
んの気持ち。
She says, but the fact remains that I only stick the barcodes on properly. That I couldn't stick the barcodes on properly. The sweet fragrance of caramelized sugar wafts through the air.
お待たせしました。
Today's sweets are bars of sweet potato paste that look scorched on the
ガス火
outside.
だけどね。
Manaka pokes her tongue out at me as if she had read my mind. You have a gas
カセッ
burner.
トボンベがあるから、今日はお茶の方も合わせてみたの。
She brings out green and black tea. The astringent flavor of it seems like it'll complement the sweet potatoes
お粗
perfectly.
末ですが。
No, this is splendid tea etiquette. But am I supposed to say thanks before or after eating? I bow while clasping my hands. Itadakimasu. I take a sip of tea and instantly start munching on the sweets. Ah, pure bliss. Feels like we made real progress today.
普段の積み重ねなんだけどね。
Don't tell me you think we didn't make any progress today.
ひどーい。
I figured right from the start that it would take an eternity to barcode all the books in the archive. But I suppose it's like eating an elephant, one step at a time. Our goal seems to be far off our goal seems so far off that I barely thought about it before. I realized something. If we continue working like this, we'll hit our goal eventually. With that, the days I've been spending with Monica will end. That's what just popped into my mind. I struggle to push the thought of it out of my mind. Even if we never finish our work here, we'll graduate eventually. Our paths are bound to split sooner or later. My chest begins to ache. Never once thought Monica's existence would be so important to me, yet here I am now. The thought of Monica's very existence being erased from my mind feels like losing part of my soul. I don't think our connection can get any deeper than this. The first time I've objectively looked at our relationship and realized how close we are despite the circumstances. Between our work here and our friendship, which would come to an end first, if they both did. If our work was destined to conclude eventually, what would become of us? What happens once we have no more reason to return to the archives? I'm getting pretty depressed here, damn it. To distract myself, I savor the green tea in my mouth. I suddenly look up and notice Monica's beaming smile. I quickly turn away. I'll fall
もう
asleep.
寝てないよ。
Could have fooled me. Just sound like you're about to fucking fall asleep. Either that or suffering again. Your seals were all crooked because you didn't get enough sleep last night, right?
眠くない。
Can't deny it, I saw it with my own eyes. But your eyes were all droopy. I say and squint my eyes at her, mocking her eyelids.
それは生まれつきだよ。それに、そこまで下がってない。
Okay, okay, don't cry, get back to work. I glanced at her quickly before returning to my duties.
うーん。
Monika's groans continue for a while longer. It doesn't look like things will go smoothly after all. Throwing her arms into the air, Monika leans back in her chair and lets out a big sigh. Even though I'm bringing books from the bookshelves, Monika remains in her seat. As she's dozing off, Monika has her arms crossed in front of her, face downcast. Quietly put down the books to avoid disturbing
ど
her.
うして高明くんはこんなに優しくしてくれるの？
Huh? Her face is sitting in her arms. A brief glimpse of her mouth reveals nothing either. Continuing with my work, pretending to be unfazed. Kind to everyone too. Isn't that a reason to return the favor?
いえ、私はいいんです。
Monika murmurs, her face still buried in her arms.
私、面白みないから。
That's not
い
true.
え、そうなんです。人を楽しませるなんてことできないから、せめて人の役に立ちたいってそれだけだし。
Her voice trails off. I still don't know why she brought that up. Sadly unload books from the cart, reluctant to question her any further. Monika's worries are also my own. How can she be of help? That's all she thinks about. How long can she live like this, searching for satisfaction by enslaving herself to the public? But is it okay for me to be judging her like this? Am I qualified to do that? Is that what she desires? Is there a reason for me to be doing this? Am I even capable of offering help? A bashful smile, the same one that's on her face all the time. Having a smile constantly glued to her face, isn't that the same as never smiling at all? No matter who you are, whether you're just an acquaintance or a best friend or a lover. What if this was all a mistake right from the start? I have to discover how she really feels about me, buried deep below that smile. This time she's asleep for sure. I don't even have to look at her drooping eyes to find out. Ours are the only silhouettes against the sunset as we slowly make our way down the hill. On the way, she turns to me with a puzzled look on her face.
高明くんの家ってご両親が出張中なんだよね。
Well, yeah, but how'd you find out?
ちょっと機会があって。
I have no idea how she could have found that out through mere coincidence, but I don't dare
という
ask.
ことは妹さんと二人きり？
That's not my little sister. More like a childhood friend from around the neighborhood. We don't live together.
ふーん。
She pouts. After a brief lull in the conversation, Monika brings up the topic again.
高明くんにとって妹さんってどんな存在？
I said she's not my little sister. It doesn't matter what you call her. After pondering her question for a moment, my face goes red all of a sudden. Monika's keen eyes spotted my reaction immediately.
そっか。高明くんにしてみれば妹さんは異性なんだね。
That's a weird way to put it. She's just a regular human being to me. But she's not my little sister.
女とは意識してない？
No, no. What on earth is that? What on earth is there you want to ask
ふー
me?
ん。
Monika looks troubled in response to my question. What exactly is she thinking
一緒
about?
に住んでないんだ。
She's not part of the
もし
family.
妹さんが男だったら？
So what? She's also very, very fixated on the little sister part there, even though she isn't the little sister. I'm gonna end it here. You already got 2 videos. I mean, overall, it'll be like fucking 3 hours. Maybe even 3 hours 20. Who fucking knows? Case in point, you got a lot of content. I don't want to hear any complaints about a 1 hour part. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you next time. Bye bye.